Hello everyone, welcome to sqadia.com, and let's start with our section 1 of our lecture topic, methods of contraception. In this section we will talk about in general what contraception is and what's the global need of contraception and what's the effectiveness of contraceptive use. So contraception, contra means against. Remember, whenever there is a word contra, it means against. Seption or conception means it is used to avoid pregnancy. Whenever pregnancy is not required, it is very important to use contraceptive methods to space pregnancy or to avoid any unrequired or unintended pregnancy. So contraception means against conception. For contraceptives to be effective, it is important that we should use them very correctly and consistently. If we won't use contraceptive consistently and correctly, there are chances of getting pregnant even with the use of contraception. If there is pregnancy on contraceptives or without the use of contraceptives and it is not required, usually that type of pregnancy leads to abortions, and those abortions are under very unsafe conditions. And those unsafe abortions can lead to a lot of injuries and even sometimes can lead to serious complications. So delayed or unattended pregnancy leads to unsafe abortions which are not intended. So contraception, as you see here, we put this, its contraception is something worth talking about. Don't be, don't take it light. Talk to your doctor about contraception and what methods are good for you to have contraception. Next, what's the global unmet need for contraception? Even with all the different methods of contraception available, there are still a lot of women who are not using contraceptive methods. They still want to avoid the pregnancy, and this can lead to so many dangerous complications and unsafe abortions. Depending on the requirement of contraception and how important it is, there is a World Contraception Day celebrated on the 26th September every year, and this is celebrated worldwide to cause awareness among the females about the contraception and what are the different methods of contraception available. There are about 200 million women which like to avoid pregnancy. And out of those 200 million, 22 million unsafe abortions. So 22 million leads to unsafe abortions. If they conceive and they don't want that pregnancy, then definitely they want to abort that fetus. 47,000 of those unsafe abortions leads to death. Very common cause still in the world is the pregnancy-related deaths among the women are very, very common, mostly because of all these complications of unattended pregnancies. This leads to delay prenatal examinations, prenatal checkups, prenatal visits, and all those negligence leads to unsafe abortions and even deaths. 5 million women suffer from injury and disability from unsafe abortions. One of them is very common, is leading to infertility due to different complications. If abortions are occurring late during pregnancy because of unintended pregnancy, it can lead to uterine ruptures, very bad uterine infections. These all can happen. Effectiveness of the contraceptives. None of the contraceptives is 100% effective. There are chances to get pregnant, but different methods have different statistics about the effectiveness. IUDs are very, very effective, which are intrauterine devices mentioned here. And then we have implants have very good effectiveness. They are effective for about one time implanted. It can be effective for 5 years. So these are very good methods of contraception. But their effectiveness also depend on the mechanism of action and correct use. Like in pills, the mostly what happens in the use of pill is forgetfulness. If the female or women who is on oral contraceptive, they don't take the pill regularly or they miss it, usually there are chances they can conceive in that time. So none is 100% effective. It depends on the mechanism of action and correct use of the contraceptive. Most effective contraceptives are LARC, which is long-acting reversible contraceptive. Long-acting reversible. So after these contraceptives are, if females stop using this contraceptive, they are very easily reversible. So they can conceive after some time. Copper IUD, copper intrauterine devices, which release copper and causes local inflammatory reaction and prevent implantation of the embryo. Then LNG-IUS. LNG is for levonorgestrel intrauterine system. These are your injectable form of the inserted in the uterus, and they release the progesterone and causes contraception. And then implants are like 6 small capsule shape, and they are implanted in the inner side of the upper arm, and they are used for about 5 years. So these are all different types of contraceptives. Again, effectiveness depends on the mechanism of action and how they are correctly used. So it's very, very important that you should be regularly taking your pill every single day if you are on oral contraceptives. And all these different methods, one way or the other, prevent the ovulation or prevent the sperm from implanting or fertilizing the ova, and prevent the ovulation of fertilized egg in the endometrium. So we will talk about different contraceptives and how they act in the next sections of our lecture. This is our different methods. In this, they show you different methods of contraception mentioning here. Like we have vasectomy, IUDs, condoms, which is the barrier method of contraception. Then we have emergency contraceptive, we have tubal ligation, withdrawal method is this, and then we have abstinence method, barrier contraceptive. So in this chart, they are showing you different methods of contraception which are available for the use. So in this section, we covered what contraception is, which is the different methods used to avoid conception or to avoid pregnancy. What was the basic need for contraception? It's to prevent the unsafe abortion to happen. If conception occurs without, if it's not desired, that can lead to so many different complications. One of them is unsafe abortion, that in turn leads to deaths and injuries of the female reproductive tract. And then effectiveness, none of them is 100% effective. Some have a higher effectiveness, some have lower effectiveness depending on their mode of action and their consistent use. Thank you for your watching sqadia.com.